Just got back from Jamaica, right?
Yes.
So listen, but you said, okay, so you were out in the sun and you're peeling. Tell me what's the story of black people being in the sun, right? So you were in the sun and you're peeling and so on. No. What's the story, right? Because I know this. We know the story of white people being in the sun. White people want to be, you know, the ideal white person wants to be in the sun enough that you can get a tan. Like if you're my color at the beginning of the summer, then I want to be his color by the end of the summer. If you went to Jamaica and you got this dark, would your friends be like, oh man, you look great? Like, oh, damn.
Probably not.
Probably not?
Yeah.
What's the story?
I don't know. I'm tan right now. I'm like really pale regularly, so I wouldn't even get that dark.
Yeah.
So I guess just seeing me as like pale and mixed, it's like if I came back like that, it'd be kind of weird, I guess.
And could you get as dark as he is?
Mm-mm.
Yep. All right, dude. So he's saying, yeah, you're like really. They're both saying, the two of you are saying like, she would be ideal. So, how is that to hear that?
I guess it's like the normal thing. Like I've heard it before, maybe.
Yeah, you've heard it before. Yeah.
Like preference to like mixed or like lighter skinned people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lauren, can you walk us through that, my friend? And what's your skin when it just gets red?
It gets really red and then it peels.
It gets red and it peels. Like, I remember one time when I was young, I was playing basketball with a dude who was dark skinned. He's probably like your complexion. And we were playing basketball, and this was before, I don't know, and he got sunburned. But my eyes, he could see it really fast, and I couldn't see it because my eyes weren't really accustomed to it.
Some people say that they prefer lighter skin. Like, I don't...
Yeah. How many people say they prefer really dark skin? Like women in your sorority, for example. How many would say like, oh no, I want the darkest skinned guy I can find?
I think it's more so what we're attracted to. Like, he could be light skinned, he could be as darker than that.
So my dad's like my skin tone, and then my mom's like a lot lighter. And then, I mean, my mom when I was a kid would always get me like really like 70 SPF like sunscreen, and like I was a kid, so she made me put it on. And then like the past 2 summers, I'm just like, fuck that, I'm not wearing sunscreen. So like I didn't wear sunscreen all summer, and I mean I was like his shade. And then I took my senior pictures, and I was just super dark. And then my mom like wanted me to retake them because she didn't feel like it like represented what I normally look like. I feel like if you're black, like you know that if someone's racist against black people or they have a prejudice against black people, like it doesn't matter if you look like me or if you look like him. Like it's at the end of the day, if you're black, you're black. It doesn't matter. Like.
So what about in the Indian community? Like I don't know, like women in the Indian community compare like different shades and stuff. What do you see?
Yeah, so it basically depends on what part. So in southern part of the India, you'll find people with more darker skin tone. And I was actually born in South India, but then I lived most of my life in the northern part of India. And the average Indian family would want someone who's also Indian.
Who's Indian, and then had which tone of skin?
The one in the middle.
Mostly like heaven?
Yeah.
Look, it's what I find is really interesting here, this fascinating conversation, is that nobody wants to step on anybody else's toes. I know the immensely complex conversations that we have about skin, and it's highly political in every culture in the world. And yet, like, when none of us, we don't really want to go there. All we do is we talk about how white people are racist because white people have certain preferences about skin, but nobody talks about any other cultures. Like, this doesn't exist. Black people change the conversation, right? It's colorism. If it's racism, oh, that's a white thing, but we'll call it a colorism, right? You can't, because black people can't be racist, so we'll call it colorism. Like, it's the same thing. It just plays. You know what I mean?